Here we have a new 2024 Nissan Armada. This one comes in the SL trim level with two-wheel drive. This paint is Aspen white Tricoat. And then this one is a midnight edition, so we get that midnight edition black leather interior. For the powertrain, we get the standard 5.6 liter Endurance V8, made it to a 7-speed automatic transmission. And that gets us 400 horsepower, 413 pound-feet of torque. Now to the front end here, love the midnight edition, just having everything blacked out. Just all of the trim pieces, they look really good, especially with the Aspen white. It gives it kind of like a two-tone feel, and they really complement each other very well. Along with the LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, and LED fog lights. And those daytime running lights don't flash, that's just how my camera's picking it up. Now down here, these are gonna be 20-inch alloy wheels. I like that design as well. Running boards are there. We have our passive keyless entry for the front. Memory seat, buttons are there. One-touch automatic up and down windows on all four doors, rear window lock, power door lock controls, power folding mirrors with blind spot monitors, and then we just have the power mirror controls. You can pick a side, offset, and use that dial there. Now over here, power lift gate, heated steering wheel, blind spot monitors, and then we have a foot pedal brake there, power tilt and telescoping steering wheel, release for the hood, and there's a power driver seat with two-way power lumbar support. We also have a nice illuminated kick plate there. So I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. But a big shout out to John Roberts Nissan here in Manchester, Tennessee, for allowing me to review this Armada today. I'll leave a link below in the description if you're interested in their inventory. And if you're trying to find something closer to you, definitely make sure you check out the link below. The new car quotes, I can get you hooked up there and make sure you find the best price in your area. So seat back pockets are on both sides. Room is very good here. And I like how you can see the sunshade for the sunroof here, but as I come back here, the roof line kind of dips back up. So several inches of headroom, tons of leg room, and then I can still sit comfortably up there and drive. I mean, it's just tons of space in these, and that's why people still love them. So I have a little cubby here, auto climate controls down here, and then down way below there is a 3-prong household plug-in, and then a 12-volt socket plug there. This has the optional captain's chair, so bottle holders are in here. We have a pretty big storage compartment here, and then we also have a pretty big storage compartment in there. So tons of space. And there's, look at that third row. Pretty good space back there, I think. That's with the third row folded down, that's with it up. And then you do have the bottle holders on either side. Let's go ahead and make our way towards the back. So just click here, access to the fuel cap. And still a very nice looking rear end here for the Armada. And I love with the Midnight Edition getting the blacked out badging. Rear parking sensors are integrated in that bumper. Tow hitch is behind that cover there. And then we also have the rear tire and the exhaust there. So a few add-ons here, the owner's manuals, Midnight Edition floor mats. And then I can lift this up. A little bit of storage space in there, and that other part comes up as well for a little bit more. And then we can just pull this up, fold it flat, and then we can just pull up on the seat to get it back where we want it to be. But I mean, decent space back there. Now the next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and show you how the second row seats work. And we do have the luggage rack there, or at least the sidebars there. If you want to add cross rails and put a luggage rack up there, you can. But you can pull up here, tumble that seat forward, and that's how you make it back here. Then you can kind of lift that up. And just to show you the space when I put the seat back, that's my legroom right there. So not the best space, but I can also recline this back. So I'll show you when I pull it all the way back, it kind of stretches the seat, and with it fully reclined, is actually not too bad for a third row. And again, it just makes it super easy to get out by allowing it to tumble that way. So there you have it. And then you saw the tethers. The anchors are hidden behind these little plastic pieces here when you need those, and they snap back into place pretty easily. Now, a quick look at the window sticker before we check out the front passenger seat. You all can pause anywhere you need to take a closer look. Now, with the SL and up, you do get the 13 speaker Bose sound system standard, and you can see the Midnight Edition package. Not a bad price, $64,860. It is two-wheel drive though. But there's that front seat there. Power with power lumbar. And there's that kick plate illuminated again. And then a lockable glove compartment down here. It's pretty hot outside, so I have the AC up on full blast for now. But I'll turn it down once I get back in the vehicle. Actually, let's show you this. If you're interested, this is 90% Japanese. So fun fact there. And mostly covered up there is that 5.6 liter V8. Now let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So nice leather wrap steering wheel here. Again, I'm gonna cut the fan speed down. And I like just the overall design. It feels nice and big, but it still feels easy to maneuver, if that makes sense. There's the horn sound there. Now over here to this screen, pretty easy to navigate. We get AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth audio, and then we get wireless Apple CarPlay, standard Android Auto compatibility. We can go through all of we have XM traffic, sports, fuel prices when that subscription is hooked up. We even have Alexa here, which is nice. And then we can pull up our info as well. And if you want to pull up the navigation, hit this button here. It'll pull up the map, type in a destination, search, all of that. And then you can add your home address, so on and so forth. Now the backup camera's there, guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel, and then you also have that bird's eye view too. You can toggle the parking sensors here. And then volume, click there to turn the audio off, and you have a tune knob here, and you can click this for the audio and toggle your sound there. Or go into the settings, you can do the same thing from here, and then you also can go to the others menu and toggle your units of measurement, your display, and your language there. So a lot that you can do in there, but that's pretty much all the important stuff. Down here are hazards. Move this out of the way. You get the dual zone automatic climate controls along with the 3-stage heated front seats. You can toggle where the fan direction's coming from. And then you can sync and then unsync by turning the knob, and then you have the auto mode, and turn that off, just adjust the fan speed, and then you can cut the whole system on or off there. I like this little pocket here. I like how it says Armada. Hit this button, and this reveals the wireless charging pad back there, and then a 12-volt here. Trailer brake controller down there, USB-C, USB-A input there. Now with this having a 2-wheel drive setup, we don't have the knob that typically comes up on a 4-wheel drive, so we can go between the 4 low, 4 high, etc. But we do have the traction control toggle here, tow mode, and then the snow mode there. And for the shifter, pull this lever, reverse, neutral drive, come over here to manually shift. And again, you do get a traditional 7-speed automatic, so you can shift that with actual shifts instead of the simulated shifts for the CVTs. Hit that camera button. This pulls up the front camera. And then you have a few other shortcuts here as well. And you can also use this dial to kind of go through the screen if you want to. But I find the touchscreen to be a bit more intuitive. Universal garage door transmitters here. Sunglasses holders. And then your lights are here. You have SOS, and then you have the sunroof, so you can pull the sunshade back. Either push up to tilt or pull back to slide, and you can slide one touch. But while that's going back, there's a look at the back seat from up here. And there it is. You can one-touch close it as well. Now, bottle holders are here. You can get to the big part of the center console space there. You have a removable tray as well. And then to the vanity mirror, there's that. And back to the steering wheel. Blinkers are behind here. High beams, you can flash there. Fog lights, etc. And then you have intermittent wipers here. So one time off, and then you have intermittent low high. You can adjust that intermittent frequency there, and then your rear wipers here. Push back for the rear wiper fluid, pull up for the front wiper fluid. And then over here to the left side of the steering wheel, back button, this OK button, and then the menu button. You can go through all of that there when applicable for the gauge cluster there. So if you have a menu that you can scroll through, it'll allow you to do so. But then also you have the capability to adjust your volume and your track list or radio station presets here. Now over here, adaptive cruise. You can cut on the lane departure and blind spot right there. And then you also have that forward collision alert as well. Voice recognition, Bluetooth, and then you can just adjust that speed. Again, that gap adjust for the adaptive cruise is there. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. And next, let's go ahead and take this 2024 Armada SL out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Armada here, it's funny, I just test drove a Kicks back to back with this, and it's crazy just what the difference between a 5.6 V8 and a 1.6 four-cylinder, it's like night and day. I pulled out of that parking lot, gave it a bit of throttle, and it was just pulling. So I really enjoyed that. That's one of the reasons that these are so fun. These and the Titans, I just love how the Endurance V8 does in terms of just that kick you get when you're putting your foot to the floor. Now, in terms of the ride quality, this almost floats down the road. With these 20-inch wheels, you can feel the road a little bit in the foot pedal, but not really in the ride quality itself. Which is fine, because the platform that these run on are meant to be more rugged than pretty much all the competition is now. Even the most luxurious Armada is meant to be something that's good for towing your boat, something that's good for towing your trailer, things of that nature. For making sure you can fit your entire family and all your bags in the vehicle for longer road trips. But in terms of just the overall visibility, I like, we're sitting up higher and the hood is actually lower than any point in the windshield. And a lot of the times, even if it's just an inch or so, that kind of intrudes on your visibility, but you're legit looking down on the road. So it makes something big like this easier to handle, I think. And with that being said, I still have tons of headroom with the sunroof. The seat itself is very wide, so it's for my wider stature, not an issue. And then just having the power seat with the two-way lumbar support, it's nice to have that adjustability for getting your perfect seat. And then you can set that up on your memory seat function here. And pretty quiet just in this 7th gear here as you're driving down the road. You're under 1500 RPMs here at like 50, 55. And it's just a nice ride here. And I feel like you're probably getting a bit more than 20 miles per gallon. So that's about right there. A little more than 20. But it's fluctuating. I like And I've said this before about the Armadas, I feel. I like how all the buttons are close, but they're not right up on you. So you kind of have to reach for them a little bit, but they're right there, easy to go to. Screen's up here. The screen's a little further away, but not really a big deal because you also have the knob down here below as well as the switches on the steering wheel for your audio. We'll give it a pull here while we can. And I mean, I gave it very little and it still threw me back in the seat. So pretty impressed by that. And I like the brake pedal too. You always feel like there's more that you can go. And it doesn't necessarily feel spongy, but you always feel like, oh, I need to stop. No, I really need to stop. And then you always have a little bit more to get you where you want to be. And that's hard to do in a vehicle as heavy as this is. But we're gonna give it a nice big pull getting on the interstate here. So I certainly didn't floor it, but I gave it a little something and it was pretty effortless getting up to speed there. Now let's turn on this adaptive cruise. And I don't get embarrassed easily, so I'm gonna tell you what I did earlier. I test drove the Platinum and I expected to have, just based on the graphics and everything, I expected to have lane centering because this gauge cluster is pretty much the same across the Nissan Infiniti lineup. So when I had the cruise going, I expected the lines to appear showing that I had lane centering because it's a 24 Armada. Sure enough, this thing does not have lane centering in 2024. So that's been an issue for the past few years. I will say, I think the 25 with the QX80 and all of that, I expect to see the lane centering technology there, but it's still not available even on the highest of trims in these Armadas, so just keep that in mind. But I still think this is pretty fairly priced. Again, big shout out to John Roberts Nissan in Manchester, Tennessee for allowing me to review this Armada. If you're looking for an Armada, they have a couple left. As of now, they have an SL and a Platinum, so definitely check them out. But if you're like most of my viewers and you're maybe in a different area of the country, hit that link down below, get yourself a new car quote. All you have to do is put in your name, phone number, email, and then you'll get these dealers fighting to give you the best price in the area. And these days, that's what you want, so you don't have to necessarily go to 5 different dealerships to get an okay price. Just have them all fight for you up front. And that's one of the coolest things about my job, is being able to offer that to my viewers. But all in all, I think the Armada is still a great SUV. I think we might see a twin turbo V6 come up here soon, just because that's pretty much what everyone else is going to, other than GM right now for their big SUVs. Toyota has the twin turbo V6, Ford has a twin turbo V6. And then you have the option to get a turbo 6 in the Wagoneers. That's just the way things are going. We're putting turbos in things to be more fuel efficient and to abide by these newer EPA standards. But all in all, still a beast of an SUV, I think, as is. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Nissan Armada in the SL trim level.